Hi, thanks for joining me on my channel, where I help people understand who they are and what that means. Today I'm going to be talking about something that's on all of our minds, and that's the topic of the coronavirus. And unlike a lot of other informational sources that you're being given this information, I'm coming at it from a little bit of a different viewpoint. One that's a lot more uplifting, positive, and more inspiring to your own vibrational immunity in these times of sickness, where it's so easy to be coerced by our environment and the surroundings, whether that's people or experiences that are showing us a certain reality. And today on this video, I'm going to be talking about how we can see what's happening in our life experience as a reality that we don't necessarily have to give our perception or attention or focus on, and that we can, in our own selves, become in alignment vibrationally with the health that we desire. It's important to understand that throughout the course of history, humanity has always dealt with an annual, if you will, sickness or virus. Call it the common cold or the flu. And there's this annual recirculation of these viruses and illnesses. And it's interesting to understand this because in our circumstance today with COVID-19, the only difference between those in the past illnesses and the experience we're experiencing now is that in the course of history, as illnesses occur and surface and we experience them, the scientists and doctors of our society quickly come up with solutions which are given to them and they're received by source energy in the form of vaccines and things of this nature. But with COVID-19, the difference here is that this is something that has never circulated among humans, and therefore it is not perceived by mass consciousness to be something which is common. And so the perception is limitless in possibilities in a negative direction. So these things I'm explaining to you so that you can understand, while this illness is something which has never been before, it is also likely, because of that fact, that many of the Earth's population will eventually contract, or in my mind, attract this illness into their experience. And while it's not a very positive comment about the situation, it does let us into another interesting aspect, and that is the perception of COVID-19 dictates the severity and to the degree with which your body can attract it and thus experience it. You see, as human beings, we are all connected to our source energy, which is the energy or the consciousness which we would term responsible for the actions of our body that we don't take care of, whether that's breathing, pumping our blood, those kind of things. You see, as human beings, being connected to this non-physical energy that we call God, our physical apparatus or our body is always communicating with that which we call God. And this communication is always occurring in every moment of our consciousness by way of frequencies. You could think of it as a radio. You and your human body, your human apparatus, is always in constant communication with that which we call God, that life force which is allowing us to exist. And this communication is happening on a frequency level. It's a vibration. And this vibration is cultivated or decided within your own mind with the help of the conditions around you and the environment with which you are responding to. So getting back to my work environment, in a place where you hear negative, 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 and infinite negative possibilities of what could happen because of this chaotic event, only one thing needs to be understood. In your human apparatus, vibrationally speaking, to experience something in line with this sickness, you must first cultivate the emotional environment within your state of being. By that I mean the conditions around you in your unaware state of thought. The conditions around you are cultivating within you a state of being filled with stress, worry, anxiety, fear, and any number of other negative emotions. And back to another video, negative emotion is our indication from our God force, or an indication from our inner being, who we really are, that in that moment of focus, we are following a direction or a path which is inappropriate to us, because you and I have individually, specifically identified and created the experience that we desire. And one of physical health, the subject of physical health, is a subject intertwined with that dominant vibration of well-being that we desire. So vibrational immunity towards COVID-19 is simple. It's a practiced attention to what is wanted. It's a practiced attention to the desired emotional atmosphere which is desired. How does this happen? It happens by ignoring what's around you. When I first became interested in studying this information of frequency and vibration and of universal laws, it was just information. And until I, in my own daily life, practiced it, and by that I mean in reference to this situation, in my daily life right now, I ignore the reality that I don't want to choose as my reality by walking out of the room, by being unpopular, or by caring more about my relationship with my source or with God than allowing the conditions of misaligned people around me to create in me an environment or a state of being which will attract to me the very essence of what I am trying to keep away from me. Because the law of attraction is not biased. Whatever you feel, whatever your state of being, it is attracting to you by law of attraction the essence of those feelings or emotions. So I challenge you, as you look at these realities which you could choose as your reality, I would encourage you to look in a different direction. And I would encourage you to look in a direction which feels the best to you. If the news outlets and the media information coming to you does not feel good, it will not produce anything good. Mass consciousness right now is in a tizzy, in an uproar, in a chaotic panic about infinite negative possibilities, not aware that they are attracting to themselves and their experiences that which they are calling evil and awful and a pandemic. So for me, to make this video is very encouraging and inspiring, because I want people to see the positive in this time. I want people to see the positivity of communities coming together to help those in need, as well as families and friends who are being conscientious of each other and respectful of each other and thoughtful in the way of washing their hands and doing the things that they know will be precautionary to prevent the spread of COVID-19. And while all these things are very important and necessary and respectable, the biggest thing anyone on this planet can do in service of others is to be in alignment with themselves. And when you're in alignment with yourself, which I continually, daily pursue, you find joy, and you find love, and you find solutions. And so to help other people understand the same information, which is you in your human body are allowing or disallowing the well-being and health which is always coming to you. And the only way you disallow or allow that well-being into your experience is by the thoughts that you think and by the state of being you cultivate every day. And that state of being carries with it momentum. And we have this cycle of life process or creation. So I encourage you today, as you're looking around you at the conditions of this society and the things that are happening in this crazy world today, I want you to see it as an option among hundreds, like a food buffet. You wouldn't go into the kitchen and create an uproar with the chef that he would have been so ignorant to put something in the buffet that you didn't enjoy. Everything in life is a buffet, and you can choose from the vast variety of contrast of good and evil, or good and the lack of that goodness, which people allow or disallow, and you can choose what your reality will be. And by focusing on that reality that you desire, and contemplating it and imagining it, and cultivating within you a state of being to attract the essence of that emotion to you, is what I hope for everyone watching this video. As I said before, this information is all good information, but until you really actively make it part of your experience and change the thoughts that you're thinking, or change the cultivation of the environment inside of you by different behavior or spending time around different influences. By making those incremental small changes of how you think, you will be given the proof that is needed for you to understand and know that you are in control of your own experience. I hope you all have a blessed day, and I hope that you all find emotional and vibrational immunity in these times. How does this happen? It happens by ignoring what's around you. In my own experience,